Welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Z James. This is Z32 Workshop, and this beside me over here is my lovely 1993 Nissan 300ZX convertible. Today's episode would be like part 4, but realistically it's part 1. We're putting in the Brett Dempsey BDE Transmission Mount, polyurethane, energy suspension mount. We're gonna take the old one out of the car, put this bad boy in. Just because I want something shiny, new, and a little bit more solid, which is all these upgrades are kind of been doing right now. Last episode, we put in the Speed Z solid shifter bracket, which should feel pretty good. This whole thing should transform the transmission quite heavily. So probably a little bit more noise in the cabin, but more direct feel with the transmission and a drivetrain is going to be the idea. Prior to starting the camera up here, everybody, I did get my transmission jack on the transmission and jacked it up. I have not taken anything off yet because this process is twofold. First thing we need to do is we're going to have to remove these 2 bolts in the OEM. They should be, I think, 12 millimeter. And then we got to remove the 6 bolts that actually hold the bracket onto the car. The transmission mount is what I should say. So that's what we're going to be doing today. Hopefully dropping the new one and dropping the old one and putting the new one in. The other thing that needs to be done for removal, like I said, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to take these 2 bolts out here. The next is going to be these 2 off to the side, or these 6 for the transmission that hold it to the body. And then there's also, now this is fancier, the bracket that holds the exhaust hangers. I can probably remove those first. I might. Those will be, I think, are going to be 12 millimeter. So I'm getting my 12 millimeter ratchet here and my 14 millimeter because you know what? That's where everything's at for removals on this stuff. So let's get underneath the car here and start taking this thing apart. So let's see, as soon as I find my extensions. Should be able to do this mostly with hand tools like I've been doing most of my projects. I tend not to go too hog wild on anything specific. I mean, the crow's feet last time, that's something special that you normally don't see, but it is what it is. So let's take this bad boy off. Let's go underneath the car. What I'm doing is there's 2 bolt nuts here. They're in this right here that hold the rubber bushing there. And then there's 2 nuts on the inside here. Let me see if I can show them to you a little better. So you've got 2 on the inside here. 1, 2. Then you got exhaust hanger 1, 2 on this. So let's see if I can get you to see that halfway decently. And without looking just directly at the exhaust. Actually, let's see if I can do this. Hopefully that's too close for everybody here. And can see this process go on. Before I started this process, I did put my transmission jack in just to be on the safe side because I do not want this transmission to fall back. It is still connected to the motor, so we should be fine. Alright, that is my 14. That's the too big. And where's my 12? 12 millimeter. Should be right here. Now, taking these off won't drop anything because the way the transmission and everything should still be here. So let's do this. Hopefully you guys can see this halfway decently. That's broken pretty loose. That's pretty loose, to be honest with you. That is 1 nut out. Let's try the next one. These aren't on very difficult at all, anybody. And hopefully I can do this in one take for everyone. Come on out. Because the exhaust shouldn't go anywhere either. I know the exhaust hangers will come on out. Okay, now that's both of those. Next up, I'm going to try going the exhaust hangers, which should be just fine. I'm hoping for. Once the exhaust hangers come out, I can go after the 6 bolts that hold on the actual mount. Let's see here, that would be, that's tightening. Let's see. There we go. Pretty loose. That was loose. There are two of these. Both of these are 12 millimeters. Come on. It looks like those are pretty easy to get out. Once again, this won't drop right away because there should be on this the threads for the exhaust hanger here. Let's take this guy out. And this actual removal here would be good for anyone else doing anything else to the transmission if they'd like to just take the transmission mount out on the back side. So that nut's out. Come on, spin. Bear with me here, everybody. This is just, must have some threads that are kind of goobed. So I can get them by hand, but not quite as easy as I'd like. Okay, there we go. Now we're getting some free spinning. As I like to say, free willing. All right, that guy is. Oh, that dropped. Where are you at? Oh, wow. I got it. That nut's gone. So that's two nuts down. Next up is going to be the transmission mount itself. Let's see if I can get them. I think those are 14 millimeters. I've been telling everyone that. They are. Let's see if I can get it with an actual, just normal ratchet without stepping up to something big. Bear with me here, everybody. Just rotating tools. There's one loose. Two loose. Three loose. So this side is broken loose. Let's open up this. Sorry about the camera angle, everybody. There's no whole lot of room underneath here to work. There's one loose. Be mindful too, you're gonna have to put this ground wire back in because they're in. Come on. Wow, so they're all loose now. So I am going to start with the two backs. Oh, baby. Let's take off this guy. Pretty loose. As far as I know, there ain't no order to these guys. They're just going to take a little bit to pop out. That's one, and I'm going to do it side by side, side to side here. So this guy up would be next. That's a little bit right there. It's 2 out of 6. Let's do this guy here. Three out of 6. That's going to be the one behind you here. You're not seeing it because I'm not filming it. It's just the opposite side. That's 4. Only 2 left. Let's see if I can get this to come out. The one with the ground strap on it. pretty loose. It's 4. Oh, I need to get that ground out of there. I'm gonna have to cut that off here in a second, guys. Hang on, I'm gonna put you guys on pause. I'm gonna go get a snips to get this wire tie out of the way. It's causing a problem, so hang on. Alright, we're back. Trying to get this guy, the wire tie out of the way. Ground strap out of the way. So I guess you needed a little bit of wire cutters to get the ground strap. That it's sort of just hooked onto the. Oh, well, look at this. This bad boy is fairly loose. Let's see if I can get you. Oh, all right. All right. Brace itself is out. Or the also the mount, but the bracket. Let's take a tour. We got 2 more 14 millimeters that hold the actual bushing in. Let's take a look. You guys can see that halfway decently. Hopefully it's not flipping around on the camera too much for you. It looks like another 14 millimeter there. And there actually holds that bushing in. And then I'm gonna have to get the exhaust hanger off. That's pretty on there, pretty tight. Let's see if I can get those off next. Hopefully you guys aren't seeing just that ground strap wire. That's kind of annoying. And let's see here. Alright, 14 millimeter. 14 mil. But I got a feeling you're torqued on like a... Oh yeah, you're torqued on there good. I don't think I'm going to get that with a normal ratchet. Oh yeah, we're gonna get a breaker bar on that and take that off. So hang on. All right, we're back. You don't need to see me walk in the toolbox. Breaker bar with an extension on it. Let's see if I can get this thing to set in. Oh, you're gonna be. Come on, there we go. Set all the way down. Oh, you're on there good. Oh, fucking hey. That is on there fairly tight, boys and girls. Let's see if I can get that without snapping it. Come on. Oh, there she's coming. Slowly but surely, she's moving. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, let's see if we can do it this way. Get a nice 6-pointed. I can't get a good spot on it. Let's rotate the socket. It's a 6-pointed star socket. That's what you want to do. Oh, there we go. Finally popped. Okay, that guy's loose. Let's get the other side here. Oh, come on. Oh. All right, let's try a push. Oh, might work. Wow, there we go. I will admit that that is torqued on there pretty gosh darn good. All right, let's get a ratchet on there now because that is loose. Put the big boy ratchet on. one nut. Let's do 2 nut. Oh, still gonna use my ratchet. Oh, come on. Ta-da! It is out. All right, let's go take a look at these on the outside on the workbench. Compare. Oh, here's what that looks like, guys. With the mount out. All right, let's go to the bench. Ooh, boom. Back up from underneath the car. Let's take a look at what we got here, boys and girls. Handy dandy bench. This is the bracket. This guy sits on top of this to do this. That's how that would sit, along with the nuts and bolts. Honestly, the factory one here that I've got, a little bit of cracking going on. I mean, it wasn't bad yet, but I'm being in it. You can see how much room there's. Kind of, I mean, this is pretty cruddy, but it's not like it's bad or broken. So that would go there, and the new one's going to be like this. So it's set up like that, with this. I think. I mean, it's energy suspension, so I don't think that matters which way that goes. And then it should be like that. And then we'll let this bolt through on it. Honestly, the kit comes with 2 more bolts, 2 nuts, or 2 more bolts, washer. Oh, come on. Washer, there we go. Washer this way. Pardon me, guys. Here we go. All the way down. There we go. That goes into the energy bushing, connecting that. This, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know why they're showing me these extra little shorties. What's going on? Flat washers, Allen-headed bolts. Oh, these guys. Okay. They probably go right there because you can't get the socket out. That's why they're Allen-headed. These 2, that's the trick. Do that. They do there and there. That's how this goes on. So going back into the car, we're going to put the mount on first. Or the rubber bushing, or sorry, the polyurethane. We're gonna do this. And then use the factory to tighten it up. Tighten it to the transmission. I'm gonna have to check the torque specs real shortly on that. We'll put that in. Then we should be good. Realistically, I'll probably do it like this. This goes up. Nut, bolts go through. Nut, we should be tight. Torque these to spec, which I will look up here momentarily. Then we bring the bracket in to tighten it up. We will not be using these 2. Actually, no, these 2 do get used. These 2 here are get used back on. These 2, the brand new ones I give, plug into that like this, into the bushing. And that should be about it. And then we put 2 more bolts back on the outside on the actual brace here. And here we use the factory hardware. Everything will be back to torque spec. I'll find those out and let you know. I'll put them in the write-up below for sure. All right, let's get back underneath the car. So here we go. We're going to put this back up. So first up should be the plate
for the exhaust hangers. Well, there's one bolt. Come on, where's bolt 2? There's bolt 2. Alright. Here's the bushing. There we go. I need my nuts. Now, I haven't found the torque spec on these, but I've got time to put them in. So let's just get these started and threaded first. Then I'll sit here and figure out what the torque spec needs to be to hold this down. Because I'm assuming it's going to be some type of specific. And it ain't short by any means. Come on, sucker. There you go. Alright, now I'm going to get them tight as, you know, just like, hey, this is kind of tight. Because that breaker took a little bit. So let's see. Now, just so you know, with this bushing and this setup for Brian Dupsey Engineering, they recommend not doing this mount without having upgraded engine mounts. Because I guess it's bad on it, would be my guess. Because this is going to be pretty stiff, whereas the other one is, the fronts were floppy. But I've already got upgraded front engine mounts, or say front engine mounts. They are Z1 polyurethane units. Okay, that's pretty tight. Alright, guys, I am going to have to go find the, figure out what the torque spec is on those, and come back to you on it. Because I am not 100% sure. So, go back and I'll let you know. Going down. Whew, let's redo this. Hey, everyone! After reviewing my handy-dandy owner's manual, or I say owner's manual, but the factory service manual, for this tells me what the bolts for this, or the nuts, are 50 foot-pounds for this sucker. So we are gonna do that momentarily. And I have a really big torque wrench because my small one doesn't quite want to work for this, or my intermediate, I should say. So we're just gonna slowly ramp up to 50 foot-pounds. That's 50 there. That's 50 there. All right, now we're good to go to put the bracket on for the 2 for the, this should work, hopefully. Come on, spin, spin, spin. Oh, come on. Finger, finger tight, finger good. Son of a gun. Come here. And everybody, just trying to get these nuts back on for the exhaust hanger, since this is here. Let's see if I can do it this way. Just get started. Fingers, finger start, because you don't want to use anything too much. There we go. That's one on. These have a torque setting. I don't care. These will probably just be whatever feels good. Because realistically, it's just an exhaust hanger. And these ain't gonna fall off the way these are. Screw the other one here. But I suppose if I wanted to do this properly, I could do it right. Here, let's see. This guy goes in. we go. Let's get this tightened down. That's fairly tight. Oh, it's loose again because they're sucked the other side down. Let's take you up. Alright, that's in. Alright, that's in. That's tight. That's tight. Alright, next up is the actual bracket that supports the bushing to the chassis, or to the body. So let's go grab it. I'll be right back. So, woo! I'm back. Alright, got the bracket here, going up. I have not threaded anything in, and I may need to lower the transmission down. It's not transmission down. It's a little bit made by transmission jack's got a little high, that's fine. What we'll do is thread in, start anyway. A couple of these bolts here just to get it to stay. Okay, there's one. Let's do two. Come on. Oh, I told you. I'm definitely on for a reason. There you go. Oh, there is some wiggle room here. If you're noticing this, there is a front and back to this bracket that can, with the kink bent inward or forward. That is the manual, kink bent backwards is for the automatic transmission. You can put these on the back. Alright, that's good there. Now let's try putting some of these bolts in the bracket. Starting over on this cross side so they see it. You want to start these fingers tight, your finger loose before you try to do any tightening on anything. Knowing how this stuff kind of fits. So now you got these in. I can't really see it. Dude. What do I have here? A little better. Oh, we're going to have to do. Well, that ain't gonna work. Come on, my boy. Oh, that's off. Oh, here's my problem, everybody. Nah. It's off just a smidge. Which means I need to get some play here in these to move stuff around a little bit. There we go. Let's see if I can get that for you. I got my portable off the side. Just give myself room here to maneuver as I go down. These off. My thought here normally is do this. So I'm gonna get that side in. That kind of helps set everything up. Just so you know that should not work there. Let's go to that side. Kind of off. God damn it. Ooh. Transmission must be a pain, but let's see if I can get one of these in. Oh, I'm getting enough play here. Let's spin the jack through the crane jack down just a smidge. See if that helps out with any of this. Come on. Oh, you're like right there. I'll have to take it off. How's that look? Oh, I'll do it just fine. Do this. Put you in my ass. Second one. One, two. Hey, Henry, how's this? Slow process. I will edit a bunch of this every day. Is this genuine? You're a genuine. Okay, that's two. There's one over here. Keep these in. Oh, well, once we got a sock up first. Should be green head here, roll your extension. Let's try one of these. Let's try this guy. Oh, there. See that works clear. It's easier. It's easier. Here's my problem. Shit. I really do think I have it all backwards. Ooh, we're back, guys. Slight problem, how do we do this? I think this was on backwards. You see the slightly deformed, this is lined up. When I put the bracket on here and here, these holes were lining up. They were off just like half a hole. It was terrible. Then I realized this may have been on backwards. As my dad, so I pulled this off and just got the report. Let's see if we can get that back on now. Hopefully you can see all this. Let's take the bracket. Make sure she's curved the right way. Forward this way. Forward up. Forward there. And then I think the holes are a little bit. Let's see if we can start these in because we had a problem last time. I'm just doing one to get the hole started, and then I'm now going to just grab and thread in any of these 6 bolts here to see if I can get the line up halfway decently. Hold on. Always start these by hand. There we go, that's one in. Let's see if I can get these on the back one. See, I'm still having to fight these holes. I'm gonna get one in. So that's a good sign. Let's see if I can get another one over here. I'm gonna get that guy in, that's a good sign. There we bolt in. Oh, that's, yeah, that didn't work. Let's see. Oh, why is that? Yep. Okay. Oh, the blade dropped. Back one. What's there? What's going on? One. It's 2. There we go. 3 out of 6 in. Let's get in. All right. Very stupid bastard. Oh, come on. Where'd you go? Oh, you're right. What? That's a one. Oh, you fucking piece of shit. Oh, of course you are. Let's do that first. Oh, that's weird. Weird setup. I doubt I can get those started. This thing. I'm gonna bring it all in, drop it down, see what happens. Where's that side at? No, that's it. Oh, yes. Okay, wait, one. You are. Okay, here's the problem. You can see, and they're all. That's good enough for doing that. Basically, these bolts don't line up these holes. I gotta get them lined in with these. I'm gonna take some research to look at it. We'll come back to this. So,
Boom. Back from underneath the car, guys. That was much harder than it needed to be frankly with you guys. For the simple fact that the bolts don't want to line up very well. You got to keep them loose. This is my solution, and I'll walk you through it. I wish I would have filmed it, but it was such a, oh, I got it to work, need to put a bolt in situation. So let's go underneath, back underneath the car. And I'll tell you guys all about what I did here. Hopefully you guys can see this halfway decently. All right. So, the problem got to be, let's get some better lighting in here, is lining up when I bolt anything of these two won't work along with those. So my solution was to, I put in these 2 bolts here,
these 2 bolts here, and I just left them loose. Did not put these in. I put a pry bar here because the holes, maybe I'll put it on screen right now how far off I was. It was like so little. So I was just literally wiggling the transmission back and forth until I got one of these to finally bite. Hand tight, mind you, no tools. Just, you know, the socket with the extension so I can get a grip on it. And hand threaded that in, got the next one going, and then started it. But that was wholeheartedly a fight that just took way too long. This isn't difficult, just to get these bolts lined up, because this bushing is polyurethane. It moves around. It's, you know, the energy suspension one. It's not bad. Just super difficult. So this torque spec on those down here to there is 50 foot-pounds. These 2 are 35. These 3 are like 40. There's a range. You can look at the factory service manual. And then the hanger that I did here, I just did them, you know, nugga-dugga, as one would say. Pretty tight. I ain't gonna go anywhere. It's going on this stuff. So that's that. Don't forget to put the ground wire strap back on. Frankly, I just chose that bolt instead of that bolt because it was difficult, to say the least. So this thing just fought forever, but I ended up having just wiggling the transmission with a pry bar right here to get it to wiggle around just enough to get this thing to start to bite, which was super difficult. So that ends. Let me get back out underneath the car here and wrap this video up because it's much longer than it needs to be. And I don't know if I'll do this 1 or 2 days of videos when I'm done editing. Probably more like 1. I wanted to show you guys more stuff, what's going on. Hang on a second. Back up from the car. Sorry guys, interrupted family stuff. So that being said, not that hard of an install. Just getting the bolts to line up is rather difficult. Much more so than I would have thought. Granted, I'm doing this on my garage floor and I only had about this much room to work in front of my head. That being said, the 2 upper bolts that hold bushing, or 2 inner bolts, upper, inner, that hold the nut and bolt, that hold the bushing, and that's 50 foot-pounds. I got those close as possible. I had taken that off a bunch of different times trying to get this thing to work through. Like, for you guys, this might be a 15-minute video. For me, this is day 2 to 3, depending on how you count that. You know, that's not an all-day affair. That is an hour here, an hour there. Like, yeah, that should fit. That should fit. Why isn't this working? I was to the point of slotting the bushing, the 2, because the bushing, you know, it's got the up fatter piece on top of it. I was about ready to slot that to get the slide over. Then I realized it does wiggle. You just got to fight with it. And I'm like, these guys, DBE does fantastic work. I know this should fit. And I finally got it. Talk about, like I said, just a real pain in the butt. On that aspect. Other than that, easy installation coming out. I mean, here's the kicker part. With the motor mounts, the transmission, the exhaust, and the exhaust hangers in there, I could almost not have a tranny jack because everything sort of keeps everything together. It keeps it in there. Not saying you would run the car that way, but it would stay there. Like, I had the tranny jack completely down to try to see if I could get a better angle on things, and it was pretty loose. I mean, to the point where it's where I had it out with the cross member, finger tied it in, and then just trying to fight around to get that one bolt in. And then once I got one in, I could get the other one in. And it was a bear of a fight. That being said, I think this whole kit's very fantastic. Quality parts, quality stuff, great instructions. You can find them on the website. Kind of wish they would have been in the box with it, but I understand the process of not doing that. It's a lot easier because my response is websites go away, so you may not have that. That being said, the additional hardware you're gonna have for the Allen-headed bolts, absolutely gotta use. It suggests you don't have to. I don't know, mine had to have them. Once I got, because they're just enough smaller on the outside diameter, not of the bolt itself, but the head, to slide it around within the slotted area. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. I may do a review of how these things fit, but I have got to do an oil change yet.
and get ready for my first autocross of the year, which is tomorrow for me, which will be probably a couple days late for you guys before I get this video on up to do stuff. Because once again, I still have more parts for twin turbo swap coming, realizing that I'm fairly sure I bought not a strong enough clutch for the twin turbo setup, realizing I should probably go for more of a performance style one. That's not too bad, just because the setup I'm going to have will be more torque than what I originally had planned for, and I miscalculated. My error, nobody else's. So anyway, please like and subscribe to this channel, everybody. If you find this stuff information useful and informative, smash that like and subscribe button below. If you have any comments or questions, hit me up down below as well. And also, once again, my name is Z James. This is Z32 Workshop, and I hope to see you in the next video I do for performance upgrades or twin turbo stuff. Because honestly, the next video may be me just tearing apart that engine because I need that engine stand, and this is my old VG30DE that's got massive rod knock, and it has got J30 parts on it now because I just needed a spot to hang them. Actually, these will probably go away. I don't need those. I don't need the cast iron stuff. I'll probably get rid of the motor mounts because they're shot. Oil pan is not the right oil pan because it's a J30 oil pan. The upper intake is off, different too, because that's a J30 specific, but I'll tear apart the whole engine in a series just so I can get it stuff pulled off, nuts, bolts, stuff I might use, and basically just video for it so everyone can see how a motor comes all the way apart. I mean, I'm going to do it in a twin turbo swap, but I'll also do it for this one too because I need to do it. All right, so anyone, take care. I know it's a long video. I'm a little long-winded. All right, take care, everybody. Bye.